Welcome back to my girlfriend Hanna and I's Colorado road trip vacation from this past summer. If you're new here, last time I shared Warren Dunes State Park in Michigan with Hanna for the first time, before driving west to St. Louis. There, we spent the day exploring Gateway Arch National Park and the free to the public St. Louis Zoo. In this video, we drive out west through Kansas, making it to Colorado and the Rocky Mountains. After camping at Cheyenne Mountain State Park for the night, we drive up Pikes Peak National Forest to the summit at 14,000 feet. After getting lunch in Manitou Springs, we go hiking in the Garden of the Gods National Park and have dinner at the Flying W Ranch. While there, we get up to some fun activities. So I hope you enjoy our adventures. Subscribe so you don't miss any of this awesome series as our Colorado adventure continues. Good morning, everybody. I am on a little bit of a run. We were very tired yesterday. We set up camp and we went straight to bed. We were at the zoo for like 4 hours or something. Today should be a little different though, because we're just driving across Kansas. There's not much to do in the middle. We'll set up camp and have a ton of time in the evening. If you're wondering where we stayed last night, we stayed at Babbler Memorial State Park. It's quite a large park with some very nice amenities and a big statue. Time to hit the road.
Going to Kansas.
Woohoo! Leaving the St. Louis area, we crossed the Missouri River. And I'd like to introduce you to Finley, or Finn for short. It's one of Hanna and I's favorite traditions to buy a stuffed animal from the zoo and name it after our favorite animal that we got to see there. Since we didn't have a grizzly bear and we were heading into grizzly bear habitat, we picked up Finley as a nice companion for the rest of the trip. And if you're going to be driving for about 8 hours a day, it's a good thing to have a podcast on deck. In this case, we chose to listen to Allie Ward and her Ologies podcast. For this episode, of course, we had to learn more about bears and ursinology.
Yes, it's Chris Morgan.
And just like that, we'd driven across the length of Missouri. So let's hit that travel montage and get the driving done for the day. Welcome to Kansas. Finally, after a very long day of driving, we made it to Wilson State Park in Kansas, set up camp, and witnessed a spectacular sunset after swimming. The next morning, Hanna and I went for a short run following the lake, as we knew we were in for another long day of driving to get to Colorado. Good morning! So today we got up and we went for a 2-mile run along the lake shore of Wilson Lake, and it was very pretty in the shallow sun.
And now we're heading to breakfast and booze since it was windy at camp, and then 6 more hours and we'll be in Colorado. Woo-hoo!
These will be Hannah's first time seeing the mountains from the Great Plains, and we'll try and record that if we can. It should be pretty fun. Welcome to Colorado. We made it. Woo-hoo. Okay, let's turn around. After all day driving, we are on the final approach to the mountains. So Hannah's gonna drive and I'm gonna record her first reactions to seeing the mountains after being on the Great Plains for the last 14 hours of driving. Do you see that dark patch beneath the clouds?
I thought that was a cloud. Big cloud. I wish we were behind this truck.
Nope, that's a mountain, and the windshield is very dirty. There's some mountains in the horizon. They don't quite look real yet. That's kind of true. They just look like a shadow of a cloud. So we've been to the Appalachian Mountains on our backpacking trip last year, but the Rocky Mountains are just way bigger. We are 45 minutes and 30 miles away from our campsite tonight in the mountains. Maybe we'll just go for a hike. We're in the mountains. What do you think?
It's crazy.
Are they very much so larger than the Appalachian Mountains?
Yes.
I'd say a lot drier too. We stopped in Colorado Springs for a little bit of a Thai food dinner, set up camp at Cheyenne Mountain State Park, endured a little bit of a late night storm, but otherwise we were up bright and early to go exploring Pikes Peak. Pikes Peak is managed by the National Forest Service, and there are now two ways to get up the mountain. There is a tram that takes you up the backside, or you can get a reservation to drive the newly paved road all the way to the top at 14,000 feet. Along the way up, you'll get some spectacular views, including those of Colorado Springs and Manitou Springs, but you just have to mind the fear of heights as you are going to be on the edge of a mountain for most of the way up. Of course, there are some places to stop along the way, and some gift shops to explore. I thoroughly recommend stopping at some of the reservoirs as you can get some very nice views of Pikes Peak. Pikes Peak is one of the premier 14ers in Colorado and one of the few that are on the front range of the Colorado mountains. This particular drive is about 19 miles to the top. It's a little over 6,000 feet in elevation gain from the front entrance, so it takes drivers about 2 to 3 hours to make it to the top. There is some wildlife to see along the way, including marmots, pikas, and bighorn sheep. We were rather lucky. We got to see a whole herd of bighorn sheep, including a ram and his harem. And finally we made it to the top where we got to see some spectacular views. Welcome everybody to the top of Pikes Peak. Someone call it the peak of Pikes Peak. As a train enthusiast, this is a very cool train. After exploring the visitor center and taking in all of the views, it was time to head back down because we had a very busy day ahead of us still. So Hannah and I were on our way down the mountain, driving down, and we stopped to look at the other two bighorn sheep we saw previously. And then on the side of the hill, there was a herd of a dozen or more bighorn sheep. It was like 14. It's crazy. So we stopped and took some pictures with the big old camera and the big old lens and got a little bit of video. I've never seen a herd that big. That's pretty cool.
I never seen them in person at all.
Hopefully I have a good enough picture to turn into a drawing and then make a tattoo out of it, because that's what I want to do. I want to have wildlife tattoos.
We should get magic.
We should get magic. Hopefully one day we'll see a bear and whatever else.
We can get a marmot.
Yeah, and what do you think of the view from up top on Pikes Peak?
It was really pretty.
It's really pretty. It's really high up. You can see for miles and miles. It's pretty cool though. I would hate to backpack up here and then discover there's a train and a road and a huge visitor center. I think that'd be kind of funny. Maybe I'll do one of the other 14ers in Colorado sometime. That'd be cool.
The bicyclists also went by, and boy am I tempted. I wish we could have brought bikes. That would have been fun.
Anyways, we got to keep heading down the mountain. We got lunch in Manitou Springs. We got lunch at a New York style pizza place and explored the town a little bit. Had lots of cute little stores with arts and crafts and actual spring water.
The Manitou Spring. One of many.
Another thing to check off the list for Hanna while in Colorado Springs was to go for a hike in the Garden of the Gods National Park. And you gotta love Pikes Peak looming in the distance.
Welcome to the Garden of the Gods. What are you looking for? What are you looking for there, Hanna? What did you find?
Quilted heart. I need a home.
Oh. Let me see
You gotta
it.
look it up online. You got a little belly.
Oh, that's cool. You flip it over. Aww.
Well, we were walking, and I could see the purple right here, and we were walking by, and I thought it was a purple flower, but it's a
Oh my. That's so nice. There's prickly pear over there. Hiking in Garden of the Gods. Mushrooms.
After finishing up our hike and checking out the gift store, we headed over to Flying W Ranch for some fun activities and a big dinner. Since the last time I visited as a kid, the whole area had burned down in a forest fire, but they had rebuilt the ranch. And the Flying W Wranglers' music is just as fun to listen to today as it was back then.
Oh!
Good.
Go ahead. Ooh! Ooh!
Ready?
Yep. Yep.
Oh!
Ooh!
Better. There.
There's
Okay,
just
go.
so many bighorn sheep just hanging out there. So we are at Flying W Ranch, doing some ranchy things. Being the city slickers, being bad at the country things, but that's okay. It's fun. And there's just bighorn sheep just hanging out. Because why not? And ponies.
And this is Teddy.
Sheep. Ah.
So hungry.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's... They almost don't even look real. But there they all are.
Finally, time for dinner.
It's almost dinner time.
5 minutes. I'm hungry.
Should be a lot of good food.
Everybody wants the cheese here.
And of course, it wouldn't be dinner without a show.
like to hunt with my Toyota Prius. We mow it, oh 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 we mow it. In the holler, the foggy holler, the possum wakes tonight. Down the hillside and through the backwoods, the possum crawls tonight. He's on his way, 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 he's on the highway, the busy highway, the possum dies tonight. He's in my way, 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 he's in my way. Delicious ending. In the skillet, the greasy skillet, the possum fries tonight. Pass the gravy and serve the taters, we all can eat tonight. He's on my plate, he's on my plate, he's on my plate, he's on my plate, he's on my waist, 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 he's on my waist.
And with that, it was time to head back to camp and go to sleep after a very long day. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below or leave a comment if you had any questions or concerns. And the adventure will continue in the next few episodes, so subscribe so you don't miss those. And if you want to support the channel more directly, the links to my Redbubble and Patreon are down in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.